Hearn, can he find a chest? Too wide for Hill. And it rolls out with 12 left.
Just some poor decisions there going forward.
Yeah, Marty Clark, he had two power forwards, but he also had Blair, a little handball over the top, running into space.
Dying seconds. What's been an outstanding third term. Beams, turnover, and with the siren about to sound, he plays on. We're down to 1 second. Hearn on the buzzer! Can't nail it. Boy, would that have silenced the crowd. Three-quarter time, MCG, match of the round, Saturday afternoon, old-fashioned footy. Where else would you rather be? Top spot up for grabs at Collingwood lead by 15. 11-10, 76. West Coast, 9-7, 61. West Coast Eagles are the best last quarter team in the AFL this year. They've only lost 2, the least of any team in the comp. They are still in this. For Solo. From the wing, 60-metre bomb inside 50. McGinnity, body on the line. Elliott caught by Prentice, caught the outside of his boot. Hearn missed the target. Thomas, crash tackle. McKenzie, they're under some pressure early, the West Coast. Kerr a wobbler, he needs it to find the boundary, and it found it for him. Jolly was lurking.
That is a great result for West Coast. There was nobody on this half of the ground, and he was committed to going that way, Daniel Kerr. But it was enough of a scrubby kick that bounced sideways to go out that didn't cost him a free kick for deliberate.
Prentice through some traffic. Marston. Marley Williams brings him down. Dane Swan. A fake. Doesn't want to turn it over. Holds it up. Somehow manufactures a handball to Williams, who scrambles the half forward. Off hands coming hard. Rosa through legs. Beams. The ball just finds him, but he can't find a teammate. Prentice. Lynch. Early momentum, massive in this. Natandui. He needs to fire.
Silly hand pass. He had a kick straight out the other side.
O'Brien inside 50. Elliott! It wasn't really his ball. Cloak was there to mark it, but Elliott said, I better make it my moment.
He had a loose player outside of him, directly ahead of him almost, Nick Natandui, and he tried a speculative left-hand hand pass over about 3 players. And it's decisions like those at critical times that will probably cost them the opportunity to get back into the game if they turn over and concede goals like this could well be.
Just game 4 for Jamie Elliott.
He did well, Travis Cloak. He protected the back. He knew he was coming back. Made sure that Darren Glass didn't clean him up.
3 goals so far for his career. He's yet to play in a loss. And he sprays that across the face. Collingwood have won their past 8 games in a row. The best current run in the AFL. They lead by 16 points. 2.5 minutes into this final term in the battle for top spot.
Well, Dean Cox is the other one that needs to get a bit more involved in the game. Generally, Cox very rarely 6 possessions this late in the game.
Well, they're both together on the same side here, Cox and Natandui.
Natandui can't rise. Held off it, and Kerr attacks the contest at full speed to Marston, who takes off at warp speed. Couple of bounces. Darling wants it long. It's in his direction. In the pocket. He's about to rise. Got a hand on it. Knocked it down to Lynch. Taken to the line, and it didn't roll out initially.
Gee, they had a loose man in the square too, West Coast. They just couldn't get there. Would have taken an extra bounce from Marston.
Good spot for a ball in, though. Jolly. Swan. Waters stands under it yet again, and yet again. The intestinal fortitude, amazing.
I've never seen anyone as comfortably crazy to stand under balls as much and back into packs as much as Beau Waters does.
He just doesn't flinch, does he? He does not flinch.
Just says, give me your best shot.
Yeah.
Substitutes been made, boys. Tom Swift into the game and Mitchell Brown out.
So Tom Swift and Tom Young came in as the subs for this game. Tom Young, a late replacement with the withdrawal of Chris Tarrant. So the West Coast Eagles in some ways with the sub first to blink. Waters again to the pocket, and Darling, magnificent hands.
Well, it was a good kick too. He kicked to where West Coast had numbers. He kept it away from Collingwood defenders that had dropped back into the hole, and he had 2 or 3 tools in the vicinity. And Darling was one that found himself in a bit of space.
Another hush falls over the MCG. It's the centre of the AFL universe for the next 16.5 minutes. Everybody in the AFL eyes on this battle for top spot. And Darling pulls one out of the fire.
O'Brien must have lost him because O'Brien's been the one that's had him pretty much the whole day and had him under control. But I don't think he actually was able to get to the contest here, O'Brien. Here it is as it's coming in. Yeah, O'Brien's got Hill for some reason, and no one's actually got Darling. So a huge mix-up. Whether O'Brien took someone else's man, and that particular man forgot to go to Harry O'Brien's man. But you can see Nathan Buckley's not too happy about that. Good finish though by Darling.
There's the sub Tom Swift, placing Mitch Brown, who was also one of the inclusions in this week. First game for a while, and this game well and truly alive. West Coast Eagles win this game, they'll be top with 10 games left. Collingwood win today, they'll also be top, but Adelaide will have a say in whether they stay top to the end of this round tomorrow. Percentage will be a massive factor come the end of the year. Beams rolls it away from the congestion. Race on. Waters. Thomas. That's in the back.
No, he turned him. He turned him
just in time. You're right.
That is a spectacular tackle when you know your momentum's going to go forward. The ability to turn Thomas in the tackle and not fall in his back. That is brilliant.
Free kick. West Coast ball.
That was just silly by Daisy Thomas. He just ran straight into Kerr.
10 points the margin. Fans are getting a little nervous. And the ball beats Shuey.
And Kerr's coming off exhausted again. But this is it here. Just for some reason, not sure why Thomas would do that.
Cox. Hits it in the Natanui direction. Beat Natanui, and it's rolled through for a behind, but they're edging ever closer. Natanui could be the man.
Well, the important thing is they're playing the game down their end of the ground.
Yeah.
So they're creating opportunities, and they can build some pressure.
Shaw. Buckley.
The other thing they've done is they've just slowed Collingwood down a bit.
Yeah.
Much better defensive pressure and defensive structure.
Cox in the battle, almost the mark against Jolly. Flicks a handball out in Prentice's direction. It opens up. Waters about to be run down. Bang, gone. No free. Could have been ball. He was tackled, but he did have it knocked clear. Swift, the sub, gets a kick. Cox to Shepherd, to the hot spot. Natanui!
Well, you can see what the Collingwood fans are upset about. They don't think Bo Waters disposed of the ball properly. He got run down from behind. It didn't look like he made any contact with the footy. But Bo Waters took advantage of that and then got involved in the next couple of scraps, which enabled the ball to end up with Nick Natanui.
That's what he has ahead of him. It's a 3-point game, and this one has hit fever pitch.
Yeah, it's been a great response from the Eagles. But
is this a free kick
to see this one again? Yeah, here it is. Here he's got prior opportunity, and that is a free kick every day of the week. So I'm not sure why the umpire missed that.
Harry O'Brien just outside.
Yeah, he's just a big man, Nick Natanui, a big man. So he just reaches over the top, takes a nice mark. So Cox and Natanui have got involved in the last couple of minutes.
Has a spell. 3 points the margin. A diddly by 27 points, Collingwood. West Coast Eagles hunting that lead down with every passing second. And Cox has been instrumental with a sub Swift. Bounces it. Darling. They can get the lead back. Dragged down by Tuvey. No free. Collingwood fans want ball. Not getting their way at the moment. Ball up.
Crowd's into it now, aren't they? Not happy, Jace.
Been a cold day, but it's a contest to warm your soul. This one well and truly alive. Shuey to Marston. 50 from goal. Tries the sidestep. Gets a handball away just in time. Blair. Brown.
Up and under.
Shaw jumps. Not 15. Well, it was 15. The umpire said it was okay. Collingwood get a break. Dane Swan.
Again, they're able to hold Collingwood up. Just continue to build the pressure.
They haven't got much forward of centre this quarter, have they?
It's man on man everywhere at the moment.
They're definitely a lot better defensively now, holding Collingwood inside their defensive 50.
Nathan Brown, that's almost on the full. Just not clear. David King.
Just having a look at the ball use of the Pies in this term, they're going at 50% effective ball use. That's why the game's being played in the West Coast Eagles forward half.
Maxwell tries to break free. Side bottom dart to Beams. Squeezes one, but stumped clear. They'll get another ball in. Lost the past 6 against Collingwood, the West Coast. They've lost 8 of their past 9 here at the MCG. This one's up for grabs for them. Rosa to Prentice. Pops it forward in hope. Maxwell, captain's mark. And off he runs. 40-metre pass to Cloak. Can't mark this. Prentice crumbs it. He's over it. Shovels it out. Swift. Gaff. Rosa. Confidence rising. Shepherd bangs it long. Darling. Hill back of the pack.
He just lurks around Josh Hill. He finds pockets of space. He judged that well. And he was the one that got the ball dropping over the back of the pack. He's only had a very limited impact. He's only had 5 possessions. He kicked the goal courtesy of Nick Natanui's work earlier. Got a chance to get his second here and give West Coast the lead.
They flick the switch, the West Coast. And they steal the lead from Collingwood.
There's been a lack of accountability from both sides throughout this game through the midfield, and now it's starting to work in West Coast favour because the West Coast midfielders are starting to get on top. The Collingwood midfielders now getting exposed from their lack of accountability, and there's a lot of ball going now inside the forward 50 of the West Coast Eagles, and Hilly's a real opportunist. He's been a really important player. Hasn't had a great game today, but that's his second goal at a really opportune time, and I'm not sure what that is, Chase.
Collingwood kicked 5 goals in a row to open up a 27-point lead. The West Coast respond with 5 in a row to take a 3-point lead.
I do recall you mentioning they are the best fourth-quarter team in the league. And they're showing us exactly why at the moment.
They are full of run. Buckley takes off, but he sprays it wide. Wellingham pursues. Rosa right with him. Flick down. Gaff was quiet early, starting to have some impact. Clark knocks it out. Missed his target. Waters gives it up to Prentice. Hands it to Kerr. He's got runners on the outside. Swift powers it long. Naitanui one-on-one. Big leap, thump down. Lynch knocks it down. Hams, pocket, spins around. Can't nail it.
Every sort of loose ball now is getting won by, look at this Clark. But every time it spills out, it's always an Eagles player now that's getting on the end of it.
Quick play on from fullback. O'Brien just to Dawes. Bounce pass under some pressure. If in doubt, go back to Dane Swan.
Great pressure.
Hill got a fingernail on it. Hearn rolls it inside 50. Buckley was waiting for it. Beams. Brown. Dawes. Can't slip the tackle. Darling. Tucked up against the boundary line, centering ball. Lynch stands under it, not clear. Daisy Thomas, flick pass. Blair ran into a high one, didn't get paid. Umpire said play on. Collingwood fans not happy. Gaff back inside 50. Hill stands under it, can't mark it. Harry O can't crumb it. It's not the same Collingwood suddenly. Lynch back to the square. Naitanui dives, can't mark. Shepherd can't tackle strongly enough. Swan to Shaw. The game's in full flight right now. It can't lift another gear, surely.
Superb kick from Keith Short.
Thomas squeezes it wide. Jamie Elliott, millimetres from the turf.
Thomas is the one, boys. Dale Thomas is the one getting forward of centre by himself at the moment. Very unaccountable in the midfield, the Eagles.
Crunch, great mark. Glass stands his ground. To Hearn. And again, everyone has a chance to take a rare breath.
Look at that vision. Oh, he's missed the target.
Nat knew he might make it okay. Finds some space himself. Heads to Darling. Hill calls for it inside 50. Gets some space. Splendid pass.
Critis has got out in the space a bit this last quarter as well.
It's amazing the way the wheel has turned.
Yeah.
This is the sort of pressure that Collingwood put on West Coast in the third term when they just went bang, 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 opened up good breathing space. And West Coast have been able to find it in this fourth term. And now all of a sudden it's Collingwood struggling to hit a target by foot. Handballs are missing the target. They're feeling the pressure.
For 6 goals in a row. Lynch flies, and that's a splendid pluck by Brown. Boy, did they need that, Collingwood. Dane Swan, Marley Williams. Pumps it towards the wing and Jolly. Good hands. West Coast Eagles lead by 4 after Collingwood led by 27. Elliott. Just gained 4, but he's standing tall. Cloak. Is he within range? He's got 5.
I think he might give it a ride.
Crowd want him to go for it. Gives it some air. Hasn't got the carry, and Waters stands his ground again.
The crowd might have wanted him to go for it, but I can guarantee Nathan Buckley wouldn't have.
Not when there was no one deep.
There's no one there, so exactly right.
Gaff to Hams, the precision. Magnificent from the West Coast there. Shepherd.
That was just the kick where Cloak needed to really take a deep breath, give himself a chance to get a scoring opportunity inside 50, particularly with the momentum going West Coast Eagles' way.
Daniel Kerr, possession number 25. Waters. Suddenly Selwood starting to find some space. To Waters again. Pops it in the Marston direction. Hands to it. They've used their sub, Collingwood. Tom Young is now on. Blair puts it long. They need a contested mark from Cloak. Can't take it. Mike Crummett. Kerr got there first. Dumped. Jumped on. No free either way. Crowd want ball. Still over it. Don't get it.
Well, I think he was very lucky, Daniel Kerr, for the simple reason that he just put his arms out. And that is not making an effort. Now, I know he had no chance of getting it out, but you've got to make it look like you're trying. That's what the umpire wants.
Temperatures rising by the second. That could be a free. It is. 7.5 minutes left. And again, the crowd in full voice.
I think we've got to the stage now, Reezy, where there's going to be a handful of opportunities in this last term.
Absolutely.
Who makes the most of it? Who kicks these set shots or the snaps?
Yeah, just the composure in this last 7 minutes is really going to be so important because there's free players all over the ground now.
Possession number 34 for Dane Swan. For Dane Beam, sorry.
61-degree angle to give Collingwood the lead with 6 minutes 45 left.
It's just become a very, very, very good play game. It's 34, 3 goals, and kicking goals at really crucial times in games as well. I mean, there's no more crucial goal than that to put them back in front. But it is going to be a bit of hook. Here it is here. Just sloppy. Yeah, gee whiz. Wasn't a lot in it, but
probably looked worse than it was.
Yeah, absolutely. So Marty Clark off and Tom Young come on as a sub. So
I'm not sure what game it is, Dwayne, but I think we're seeing a preview of something that's going to happen in September.
Absolutely. They'll be watching this tape back, no doubt, sometime in September. As these two teams will both be there. Selwood to Cox. The half forward, Hill. Couldn't trap that. He was looking around rather than at the ball. Marley Williams attacks the Sherrin. Keeps it in front. Gets away from Hams. Has a bounce. Just game 4, but a cool head there. Goldsack wrapped up. Rosa drags him down, ball up.
Yeah, there's certainly two quality sides that both coaches look on. This is where really you can't do a lot here. This is about the players, about the leadership, about making sure they organise at these sort of stoppages, get their matchups right. There's not a lot the coaches can do at the moment.
Kerr got it out to Shuey. Bounces it inside 50. Chaos ball. Lynch over it. Tackled. Held in. Umpire screams for him to get it out and penalises him for not. Wasn't a lot he could do there.
No, there wasn't. No.
In fact, there was nothing he could do there. That's the rule. Tuvey down to 5 minutes and 40. Collingwood by 2 points. An enormous amount of time left in this. The battle for top spot has lived up to all expectations. Buckley to the wing. It sits a little. Elliott gets there first and on the run. Side bottom. He can open up this lead. He can go for goal from 50. Long drop punt, goal square. Shaw can't mark.
That's a big spoil.
Yeah,
really good spoil over the top. I think it was Matty Rosa, was it?
Not sure who it was. I tell you, Elliott's taken a couple of real key marks in this last quarter. He's really stood up, the young fellow.
It was a great run, Bruce. He just come from the bench and sprinted right across the whole field just to be an option for his teammates.
Cox. Kerr. The old firm. Lynch in game 200 wants to make it a win. Back to Kerr, who has not stopped running. Harry O'Brien, Hill needs to go. Harry can't mark it, but he crumbs it. Landed like a cat and is away. Elliott again. Side bottom.
It was in fact Jacob Brennan who made that great spoil before. Terrific effort from the young man.
Collingwood by 3. Wellingham the target with this kick, and he's good enough. Fans on the edge of their seats. Floats it. Dane Swan, pocket. Kickable by his enormous standards.
This will be possession number 38. And normally you'd say he's the best man on the ground, but when Dane Beams has had 34 and kicked 3, you probably lean that way. But boy, certainly one of the key factors in this match. Can he fashion something here? What sort of kick will he go for? He's looking around.
37% possessions for Dane Swan. Kicks toward goal, bends it back. Not enough. Behind. 4-point lead.
Well, these kick-ins are vital now. This is where you can get a little bit of a break going the other way. If someone from Collingwood doesn't stand in the right position at their zones, you overload one side, try and kick it long. There it is there. Oh, yep.
Such a good kick.
Glass takes off. He doesn't know how long left. Rosa marks it. Scoreboard says 23 minutes gone. The West Coast surely know there's at least a couple of minutes. Rosa takes off. Hands it back. Fiddling with it. Kerr, but maintaining possession. Cox to Shuey.
Oh, he had him open and he missed him with the
Critis stands start to the square. Marston down there. They gathered it off the hands. Gives it up. Brennan.
Oh boy. They had numbers, they had time, and they just couldn't get the right option. Mentioned how good he was at the other end. He saved a goal. Could have nearly kicked the winner.
Goals aren't in his genes though.
I think you talked about earlier, Jason. It's just now there's some players all over the place free. It's just whether you can get it there. Pritis was free by himself, 40 out. I think it was Shuey or was a gaff that missed him, and that's going to be the case now for Collingwood as well. Are they going to be able to hit their targets going up the other way?
Good grasp from Darren Jolly. Just got the fingers underneath the ball.
He's been challenged too, Jace, because Cox has really lifted his work rate this term. He's had 8 disposals, and he's been the reason why the West Coast are now making a charge.
Puts it up in hope that Cloak can go up. Crashes the pad. Jarrett Blair, a bounce, a shimmy, runs inside 50 and misses. West Coast ball, he's missed everything.
And you can sit there and say it's a really bad miss, but the other thing is now you're running at full pace, you're tired, and you've got blokes right on your ginger.
It was a great take. It was a great take.
There's no easy kicks, not many loose players to hit, but that's a good one out of defence.
Hearn to Rosa.
His kicks out of the defensive 50 have been spectacular, Hearn.
They have.
Cox. Down to 2.5 minutes. Waters runs on. Naitanui at full forward. Waters looks up. Doesn't go for Naitanui. Marston through Hams. Just a little too strong with the handball. Tuvey, Shaw. Again, Elliott over the top. It wasn't his ball, but he made it his.
Some of the key possessions that he's had in this last term.
Heads for Dawes. Cox right there. Cox just got a fingernail on it. Swift shoots it back. We're inside 2 minutes. Collingwood lead by 3 points. Tucked up against the boundary for Solo. One minute and 40 left. Daisy Thomas might go up. He's up early. Can't bring it down. Off some hands. Swift, Hearn, Shepherd. This might be their last roll of the dice. Gaff, Selwood, and it opens up for them.
And Darling.
Darling wants it long. Brennan sees him. Needs to be a good kick. It's a wobbler. Darling goes up. Crunch. Naitanui the crumb though. Seconds tick down. Naitanui a little fumble. Dragged down. Brown wide. Brennan. Boundary line. Will he keep it alive? Does just in time. Almost a high on Shuey, who's got the most high frees in the comp this year. Umpire doesn't pay it. Says ball up. 1 minute left.
I reckon the Brennan bounce cost Jack Darling a mark in the forward 50. He had space in front of him, and you can't blame him for doing that, but it needed a quick long kick.
Naitanui from behind flicks it down. Blair through his legs. Dawes. Critters cut it off. Floats it inside 50. Touch play on's the call. Darling crashed it. Collingwood numbers. Hill, the danger man, tucked up against the boundary. Maxwell waiting for it. And out of bounds favours the West Coast. But behind,
it does.
And Collingwood could have mopped up the 38 seconds, you would have thought.
Particularly with Dawes in the ruck. Jolly's exhausted. He's off the ground. So you've got your second ruckman against Naitanui and Cox.
Cox down to Pritis. Dragged down. Clock stops. 31 left.
This is where an inexperienced ruckman, you just don't want him to give away a free kick if you're Nathan Buckley here.
You won't see too many people standing on their own here.
No.
It comes down to this. Cox the flick. Naitanui, Hams, pounced on, no free. Another ball up, 24 left.
That's the key as well. As much as West Coast want to get their hands on it and do something spectacular, Collingwood will be careful not to give away a free kick.
Yeah.
Could someone be a hero for the West Coast? Towed away. Side bottom the sidestep. Dangerous kick. 15 seconds left. Thomas attacks it hard. Cut off. Rolls to Glass. Hands it up to Hearn. Bang. Dispossessed. Thomas gathers. They should win it, Collingwood. Kicks it wide. And here's one of the most magnificent sounds in the world. 70,000 Collingwood fans in full cry.
Yeah, what a great game. Fantastic game, great finish. Geez, the Eagles did come back. Just looked like they were gone and buried halfway through that third quarter, but full credit to them. Kerr really had a terrific game, and Kingy mentioned Cox was outstanding in the last quarter. It was just a fantastic. He really lifted. He had 9 possessions in the last quarter. Really lifted. The young Eagles players did themselves proud, but they weathered the storm, the Pies, and got a 3-point win.
So I think one of the things that makes it even better for Collingwood is you look at the efforts of someone like a youngster in Jamie Elliott, who made some great decisions, some clean disposals, kept his head about him when there must have been so much pressure out there for a young bloke on the big stage. You can see the disappointment in Daniel Kerr. He's run himself into the ground. But it was just that Collingwood, at critical times, just found the right thing to do. A couple of opportunities. They can all laugh now, Sharon Wellingham and Dale Thomas and Dane Swan, but boy, this one went to the wire. We've got two very good teams that we're going to see a lot of this year.
David King downstairs.
Dane Beams is with me. Dwayne, what an amazing game, Dane, for yourself personally. A 3-goal game. You must be thrilled with your own performance, firstly.
Oh, mate, I don't really care about my own performance. It's obviously nice to play well, but playing big games like this and be able to win the way we did, we grinded it out a lot. Yeah, it's just it's a full credit to the boys.
They just kept coming at you, didn't they, the Eagles? You knew they would, but You found a second level. You found like a finals-like intensity today.
They're a super team and they're going to be around come September, so we've got to put ourselves out against the best, and we're able to do it today, and they took it right up to us, and we're able to get away with it. So, like I said, full credit to our boys, but well on them as well.
Your game's gone from strength to strength. Who have you learnt from? Who's been the biggest influence on you this year?
Oh, I think my first 3 years I spent a lot of time pinch hitting in the middle, and unfortunate circumstances